Hello parents, thank you for watching this little video today. You're getting me on my second cup of coffee, so I promise we are not going to stand up and do the tootie-ta or the chicken dance or anything like that. Again, I've only had one cup of coffee, but the purpose of this video is to help you. I want to explain some of the papers and work that I have for you and your child in the packets that we will be picking up on Saturday, that you'll pick up on Saturday or that I will deliver to you. And before I do that, and again, there are lots of things I want to explain, I first want to start by saying I miss you. I miss your children so much, and I also miss you. I've loved seeing you every day and having you part of our preschool community. And although I'm not teaching your children in person, I'm still your child's teacher, and I'm here for all of you, so I hope you know that. As a parent, and I have two children, Basil and Phineas, I feel like our most important job right now is to give our children love, to make them feel safe, and if we can do that and make them feel secure and safe and nurtured, all this work can come later, but that, I feel that love is the most important thing. And for your children who are 4 and 5 years old, I feel like that is the most important thing you can do for your children, just to love them and be there. And remember, when we did our parent meetings a long time ago in September and October, we focused on play and sharing books with your child, talking with your child. And we said that there was this idea of the golden hour, that if you could focus on your child, give your child undivided time for 1 hour a day. And it doesn't have to be all at one time, and that can be sharing a book, cooking together, sitting on the floor and playing cards, building a fort together, having a picnic, going for a walk, doing some gardening, looking for insects outside, or just snuggling and talking together, making up stories. If you have that hour together every day, it will really help your child flourish. And one of the positive things about this time is a lot of us do have more time with our children. So although it's an uncertain time and we have lots of different emotions, I hope that our children will remember this time as one where they had really special time with you. So that being said, I had a few parents ask me about kindergarten and whether their child is going to be ready. I want to reassure you that we've had the most wonderful year together. If you think of all that we've learned, we opened a restaurant. Remember our whole restaurant unit? The children were paleontologists and doctors and veterinarians, and we opened a pet store. And then we had our castle, and we went into outer space. So all of those units and all that language, but also all of the math we've done, all the books we've read, all the things we've played, they have an amazing foundation of literacy, reading and writing and mathematics. But they've also learned how to be in school. They've learned how to separate from you. They've learned how to be part of a community, how to raise their hand, how to follow rules, how to listen to the teacher. And they love school. I think every single child wants to be back at school, and they miss school. So whether we come back together as preschool or they start kindergarten, they are so ready. So I want you to know that I have so much confidence that they will flourish in kindergarten. But now, we still have time before kindergarten, so we want to make the most of that time. So I'm going to go through this packet. I feel like my job as the teacher is to offer comfort and connection, and I hope the videos do that, and to offer content. And so in the videos, we're just going to keep going with our math curriculum. I'm going to read books to them, and starting next week after spring break, We're going to be learning about insects. I have my little preschool here in my home, and we're just going to keep learning. So here are some things that you can do at home. Your packet, I have to just go to my gift closet. So some of you are getting Valentine's Day, some of you are getting Easter, a variety of bags. Inside this bag, there are a lot of materials, and I do urge you not to just give this bag to your child, because I know what the kids will do. They will color everything right away, they'll use everything, but this is more a resource for you. So you might choose to give them 1 or 2 things a day, especially during spring break next week when we're not together. So dole this out, like keep it and use it as you see fit. There are some things that are just for the children. I'm giving them watercolors. There will be some markers or crayons and pencils, paper for them to draw, stickers, and then Mrs. Sandoval is going to have their art packet as well. There's going to be some plastic eggs. They can make shakers. So during circle time, we're going to do some things with shakers. You can put beans or rice inside, and they can make some instruments. And then there's going to be this packet that I'm going to explain. So first, there will be things like little books that they can color and read. And there's a camping one, there's going to be a math one, and there's going to be a name one. It'll have each child's name on it directly. And then there'll be some, most of this is math work, because that's what I really can't do the hands-on math in the videos as much. We do little math activities, but for them to be doing the paper pencil things. This is a roll and write sheet. The children know what to do. In your little packet, you will get a die, or 2, you'll get a pair of dice, and the kids know how to do this. They roll the die. If it's a 6, they come to the 6 and they write the number 6. We do this for about 4 minutes. So if you can imagine, if you did this, if you gave this to your child, they did it for 4 minutes one day, maybe using red. The next day, you can use this same paper and they can just keep going. I am giving you several copies of this. So this is roll and write, which practices them. They get to practice recognizing the number quickly. That's called sabotizing. And they get to practice writing the numerals. This one is just a little fun one with ladybugs, where again they roll the die. If it's a 5, they find a 5, they write the numeral, and they color in the ladybug. This one is a reusable one, so if you want to use 2, this is 1 through 6. So they roll a 5, they find a 5, but instead of coloring, if you just want to put something on there, like that, you can reuse it. On the back, it goes up to 12, so you can use 2 dice, 2, and they can cover those up. If you want to make your own, it's easy to do as well. I just made little numbers. This is for the 12. They can roll the dice, color in, and you can make them any way you want. Very, very simple. But again, they're rolling, which is good, fine motor. They're writing or coloring in those numbers. And then I have a couple other little papers for them with shapes. So those are that. There are a few things with when I'm teaching, we will be doing a lot with 10 frames. This is called a 10 frame. So I gave you 2 of these. If you could keep them, I will tell you the day before the lesson, please give your child the 10 frame, because in my videos sometimes I will have the children have their 5 or 10 frame, and we'll be doing activities together with that. So for example, in this one, they're going to be making spots like on a ladybug. There's also this page, which is called a storyboard for a ladybug. We will be doing some work with this. So if I say, please make sure your child has their ladybug storyboard, that's what I mean. We'll be doing a lot with symmetry this month. And again, we'll be doing some work with symmetry and these ones. So those papers, if you could just save, and I have those in a separate part of your packet. All right. let's go to the rest of the things. In your packet, there's a deck of cards. There's so many math games you can play with cards. There are some note cards. There's a pencil for the children. When we do our learning logs, I really like them to use a pencil, and then it really encourages them to do their correct grip. There's a pair of dice, and then these counters. If you can keep these counters in a separate spot, they will be needing those for work with me. I have a lot of games here, and again, if you can just keep these, and if you want to, you can choose one a day to play with your child. A lot of these are just covering up games. You roll one die, or you can roll two, and if it's two, of course, the child adds the total, and then you just cover these up. So if you rolled a 4, you could put 4, I have 4 pennies, you could put 4 pieces of cereal, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next person rolls, you keep going. After every turn, count how many you have. You can also see how many more to get to 20. Now these are 20 frames. There's this one. Of course you can use pennies, the piggy bank. If your child is working more within 10, you can just cut, you can go like that if that's easier, just to work with 10 and counting up to 10. So I have this one. There's the dogs. You can decide, you could give each dog a Cheerio. Again, rolling one die, rolling 2 dice. There's this one. So these are all, again, that practicing the one-to-one, counting how many more, but always counting the total. The more we can do that, it really is going to solidify those numbers for the children. I also have some path games where you can use a penny or something, and together you can roll a die and you follow the path to the banana. In preschool, we usually just use one. We make it a cooperative game, but you could both have your own game piece. Here's a little robot one. Same thing. This one's a little bit longer, so again, 1 die or 2 dice. And this one is called Uncover. I actually like to call it cover. If you want to get these or anything, put it right above each number, like that. Put 1 above each number, and then you roll the dice. If the total is 8, you can cover up the 8, or you can do it the opposite way, uncover, and you try to get all the numbers. That's a really good game for the children, uncover or cover. Also with the dice, and I know I'm giving you a lot of directions. Okay, I will hurry because I'm already, I know I'm talking a lot. Okay, with the dice, you can get some pennies or anything, and you can play a game where one person rolls, they roll a 4, they take 4 pennies, the next person rolls, and at the end, when all the pennies are gone, you can count to see the total, or you can have a set number, maybe put 14, and your job together is to try to collect all 14, and each time you're counting the number. Again, I will give you suggestions each day. I'll say, oh, you could try this game with the dice, and I wrote directions there as well. And, all right, card games. I separated the cards. I just took out the 1 to 5 cards. A wonderful game you can play is called Compare. We might have called it War, but of course we don't call it War in preschool. So you put the cards in the middle, and then each person takes a card. So pretend your child's playing there. You say 1, 2, 3. You turn over your cards, and then you say 4 is more than 3. And the person who has the bigger card, has the one that is more, takes both cards. Or you can try, maybe you're collecting the smaller ones. 3 is less than 4. If you want to play double compare, each person turns over 2, and you have to add the total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can play compare or double compare. If you add the 6 through 10 cards, of course, the numbers get a lot higher. And so that's good for the children too. 8 is more than 5. So using that language with the game, I usually just take out all the face cards. I will be giving you more suggestions, but that's one thing you can do with the cards. All right, two final things. I'm giving you lots of note cards. I didn't make the games for you myself because every child is going to be at a different level, but a wonderful thing you can do with the cards, if you cut them in half, is make memory games. So this one, I just made capital and lowercase. Capital A, lowercase a, capital B, lowercase b. And in this game, you just put them down and you put them down. I think it's really nice to be in rows that are even. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue that. And it's a memory game. So not only are they learning those letters, or you're reinforcing that, but it's really good for their brain, for that part of their brain where they have to remember A, D. Are those the same? No. Turn them over and they have to remember A and D. Okay, next person, E, F. So, and if they matched, they would take the cards. You can do it. You can make your own cards with capital and lowercase. You might want to do numbers and the dots. Some of you are ready for sight words. And if you want to do words, you know who you are, and I will let you know what words. So some are matching can and can, the and the. Some of you might want to do doubles. 2 plus 2, 5 plus 5, and then of course the corresponding number. There are so many games you can play with cards. So, and I like to start with about 12 cards. Children can do the whole alphabet. They can go up to 50 or 52 eventually. It's so good for their brains. Another thing I love doing with cards are making little scavenger hunts. So, look under the banana, clue number 1. And then you've hidden under the bananas, number 2. Look in the plant. They run to the plant, there's clue number 3. The clue will be with their bunny. And then clue number 4, look in the refrigerator. So there's so many fun things you can play with these cards. All right, very last thing, parents. Some of you wanted the handwriting without tears. So I copied this for you, this packet. There is one, I won't open the whole thing. There's one page for every letter, capital and lowercase. Again, this will take your child about a minute to complete each page. So please give them out carefully. If you want to work on the letter B, find the letter B, the capital and the lowercase. Give this to your child and watch. Big line down, around, down, and up. Watch them do it. What?
Start at the top.
Oh, I'll start at the top. My camera person is rhyming. Yes. So this would be something you sit with your child to make sure they have the correct formation. This is also your master. So if you want to remember how these letters are made, this is for you. So use it as you see fit. I'm also including just blank paper. Encourage your child to draw. And then if they draw a picture of a dinosaur, ask them, what does dinosaur start with? D. Encourage them to label it a D. If they draw a picture of a ladybug, they should be able to write an L next to that ladybug. That is what happens in kindergarten right away, labeling. So that is that. All right. I've given you a lot of information. So thank you for listening and bearing with me again. I will remind you of this. But my main thing is when you get your package, please just keep it for yourself. Look through it and then play these games with your children. Hand out the papers, but not all at once. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Again, call me, text me anytime you have a question. All right. Thank you. Enjoy having time with your sweet little ones.